Hi YouTube friends, I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead and the School of Botanical Arts and Sciences, where we teach people how to work with herbs that you can forage or grow yourself or even purchase to make your own plant medicines at home. My husband and I have actually not had to take any prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs in over 10 years, and it's a blessing, I can tell you. Besides that, plants heal us. They don't just mask symptoms. Anyhow, I'm here today to talk with you about this beautiful, beautiful plant. This is a little piece of a huge stem. This is just the tip off of a tree called Abies grandis or grand fir. And these are the tips. They taste delicious. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share with you, very tart, very citrus tasting, lovely. And I'm going to share with you how to use and work with this lovely, lovely plant, just a few of the ways. But first, let's talk about why you would want to. So grand fir is a species of tree that grows in the Northwest forests. It is astringent, which means it's tightening and toning. It can be helpful for skin and mature skin for that reason. It just tones things right up. Great for hemorrhoids, things like that. It is an antiseptic, so it's an excellent first aid herb. It's an antimicrobial and antifungal. Some say it is anti-cancer or anti-tumoral. I kind of, because of the whole FDA thing, I kind of stay away from that. However, I have read that the uses and the benefits of this plant and the resin from pine in general, the conifers, even here on the North American continent, can be very, very similar to frankincense. And frankincense has a really good reputation for that kind of thing. It is an anti-inflammatory. So if you are wanting to create a pain relieving salve or a salve for inflammation or a tincture, this is a really nice addition to that. Besides that, you're going to get the additional nutrients from the vitamin C. So these are very, very high in vitamin C. The evergreen leaves, pine, fir, and spruce, are very, very high in vitamin C and just overall nutrition. They're excellent for us. When you have a cold and flu, they help to open up the respiratory system. In fact, using the tea and making a tea, especially if you're using fresh needles, when you are having respiratory congestion, can be so helpful in helping you get that deep, active breath and just enjoy a little bit of relief in your chest. Very, very helpful. I want to mention that it's mainly the volatile oils that are found in the leaves, which become the essential oil when you go through the distillation process, that create a very, very powerful effect for the respiratory system. And that's something to keep in mind. Personally, and I'm going to go through how to use the plant parts here, but I find that a salve that is infused with pine or fir or spruce can be so helpful in helping open up the respiratory system, even all by itself, without the addition of essential oils, although I love powering it up with my essential oils, as you know. Another thing is have you ever walked through the forest and just felt so good? There's a reason for that. It's because of the aromatic oils that are in these plants that go into the air and they put you in just an amazing mood. There have been Japanese studies on, and there's also the benefit of the negative ions as well on our emotions, but pine and fir and spruce, and this is again grand fir, is amazing for that. I want to just show you really quickly how you can identify grand fir if you're ever up in the Pacific Northwest. So the leaves are flat, or the branches are rather flat, and then the little leaves hang off in 2 rows. So some firs have, they'll go around the whole entire branch. With grand fir, it's just along the spine of you have 2 rows of needles, or these are the leaves, along a branch. Okay, and they're rather flat, so when you walk by, they're kind of hanging like this, and they're gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. These grand firs are some of the tallest trees in the Pacific Northwest. They are just towering, especially if you are more toward the coastline where it's more humid, but they're just the most beautiful trees. So what I did when I went out foraging was I just clipped off the tips from several trees, so not taking too much from any one tree. And I only take what I feel like we're going to need to use in about a year. So I've got some hanging back here. These I'm going to hang and I just rinsed them off because they were full of dust from our side-by-side. But these are hanging and are going to be completely dry. I will be infusing those in oil or making into herbal tea blends. And then these down here, I'm going to tincture. So they're still moist and still kind of a little wet. I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'm going to tincture them in some higher proof vodka. And that's going to just take care of the moisture content. What do I want to use these for? The herbal tea can be, again, great for the respiratory system and really helpful for coughs. Same with the tincture. I like to combine pine, fir, or spruce tincture into other respiratory blends that I like to make. So I can share some other recipes with you at another time. And also, I just love the pines for the emotional benefits. They're amazing. The volatile oil, which is the essential oil, contains a chemical called pinene, and it is super helpful for your respiratory system as well as your immune system. Very wonderful plant. So let's go ahead and talk about how to make the tincture here. So I'm simply going to take my scissors and just chop up the bits. It's okay to get some stems in there. And while I'm chopping this, I also want to talk about the resin. The resin, which often will just fall right onto the ground from young trees. Usually, oh, it smells so good. I wish you could smell this. It is amazing. It smells so beautiful. I love the smell of pines. But anyway, back to the resin. The resin is very helpful for the skin. The leaves are as well. There is resin in the leaves as well. But the actual resin from the tree trunk and the bark is really great for soothing skin conditions such as itchy skin or eczema, things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my jar here. And I'm probably going to end up with about 3 quarts of this. You might enjoy this. Okay. I just really wish you could smell this. It's putting me in the best mood right now. I'm going to try to describe the smell of this for you if I can. So this is a combination of citrus, uplifting citrus. Uplifting, it's kind of not, it doesn't smell like pine. It's just gorgeous. I don't know how else to describe it. I could literally smell this all day long. And the fact that it's helpful for the respiratory system is just a wonderful, wonderful plus, or it might be the reason you want to use it in the first place, right? But these plants are, if you only take what you need, they're very sustainable. Of course, I picked these from a very large tree. I would guess the tree was probably maybe 60, 70 feet tall. So it wasn't a super old one. There was plenty of them in the area where we live, so it's okay. All right, so here's what I've got. Jar filled with these beautiful, beautiful leaves. So pretty. And now I'm going to, I don't have very much 80 proof vodka here. I'm here in my studio in my house. And this is actually not really a studio anymore. My main film studio is down in our office down in town. And that's where you've probably seen more recent videos, hopefully. I kept this little room here because I just love the background that my husband made for me. And I do a lot of work here, so I still kept my herb things going, and I do a lot of my this place is filled with seeds over here that I'm still going to get out and plant. But anyway, there we go. So I filled this about halfway full with 80 proof vodka, and the other half I'm using 151 proof. And I will do the math on that later to figure out the exact alcohol water content. It's definitely going to be a very beautiful tincture. By the way, I could have just used only 80 proof with this. And the reason for that is the needles, this is a fresh plant tincture, and that's why the jar is so full. But the needles are rather dry on their own. So there we go. This is one of the things I'm going to make with my grand fir needles here. I'm going to infuse some oil with these once they're completely dry, as well as make some herbal tea blends with them, and they're going to be so wonderful. And I'm probably going to go ahead and infuse some of these into some witch hazel, because again, these are wonderful for skin health and tightening and toning lax skin. And we all know what that's like. Well, maybe some of you don't, but if you're a woman of a certain age, like I am, we deal with certain areas of our body that we want to tighten up. And this can be helpful. All right, I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead. Hey, I wanted to just mention, since we're talking about a plant that can be really helpful for really your immune system as well as your general respiratory health, I want to invite you to take a look at my immune system workshop. It's a well-researched workshop on your immune system. You are probably going to learn some things you didn't even know before, and how to work with certain herbs and essential oils to support your immune system. And I'll leave a link to that below. Also, I have a lot of free gifts for you. I would love to have you subscribe to our newsletter and take advantage of these free offerings. One of them is actually an Herbal Foundations course, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback from that over the last few years. So enjoy that. I'm Heidi Villegas, Healing Harvest Homestead. Please subscribe, like, all that stuff. I appreciate that. I'll see you in the next video.